Mel Gibson just dropped the most explosive celebrity exposé of the decade, and the 5 names he's targeting could flip Hollywood upside down. From shocking allegations to industry secrets buried for years, this list will make you rethink everything you know about the A-list. So, who made the cut, and why does Gibson allegedly despise them? Let's start with number 5. Number 5, Winona Ryder. Winona Ryder, beloved star of Stranger Things and 90s cult classics, once found herself in a disturbing encounter with Mel Gibson that still echoes through Hollywood. In a 2010 GQ interview, Ryder revealed that during a party in the mid-90s, Gibson made a grotesque anti-Semitic joke, calling her an oven dodger, a slur referencing Holocaust victims. Ryder, who is of Jewish heritage, recalled the room falling silent in horror. But the cruelty didn't stop there. She says Gibson then mocked her gay friend with an AIDS-related remark, at a time when the epidemic had already devastated thousands. For Ryder, it wasn't just offensive, it was shattering. Though Gibson denied the incident and claimed to have apologized if she felt insulted, Ryder's story didn't come out of nowhere. In 2006, Gibson had already made headlines for a drunken anti-Semitic tirade during a DUI arrest, shouting that Jews are responsible for all the wars in the world. His 2004 film The Passion of the Christ also drew criticism for alleged anti-Semitic themes. Ryder had kept quiet for years, especially after her own public troubles in the early 2000s. But when she finally spoke out, it wasn't for attention, it was for truth. Raised in a household deeply rooted in Jewish history and activism, she said the moment haunted her. To her, it wasn't just about Gibson, it was about a culture of silence in Hollywood. That night's slur, Ryder later explained, felt like more than a tasteless joke. It felt like an attack on her family's memory and her very identity. It cut into who I am, she said. Decades later, the truth remains unresolved. Ryder stands by her account. Gibson denies it. But what lingers is bigger than a Hollywood feud. It's a reminder that words spoken in a moment can carry a lifetime of pain. And just like that, the story takes an even stranger turn. Number 4, Christopher Walken. The rooftop encounter. He came to see me on a rooftop in New York, Gibson once told a friend. I said, "Can I talk to you?" He said, "Sure," and he just floated in. Hollywood is no stranger to surreal stories, but this one, involving Mel Gibson and Christopher Walken, is so bizarre it's hard to dismiss. Walken, known for his ghostly presence and piercing cadence, met Gibson in the early 1990s during a casual meeting in Manhattan. What began as a casting conversation quickly spiraled into the uncanny. At the time, Gibson was riding high on the success of Lethal Weapon 3 and gearing up for Braveheart. He was considering Walken for a role in a psychological thriller, but from the moment Walken appeared on the rooftop, something felt off. An assistant later described how Walken's movement looked unnatural, like his feet weren't touching the ground. Then came the conversation. Instead of talking roles, Walken allegedly launched into a graphic monologue about medieval torture devices, from the Iron Maiden to the rack. Gibson, raised in a strict Catholic household, grew increasingly disturbed. It shook him deeply. Gibson later told his assistant, "We just met the Antichrist." He pulled the plug on casting Walken and never looked back. Those close to him said he believed he'd seen pure evil. Walken, famously elusive, never addressed the incident, and his silence has only fueled the legend. While friends describe him as eccentric but harmless, the story never faded. Gibson, to this day, is said to recall that night with a single unsettling phrase, "I saw something I was not meant to see." Number 3, Pedro Pascal. Politics over performance. Mel Gibson's issue with Pedro Pascal is political. While Pascal rose to fame with Game of Thrones, The Mandalorian, and The Last of Us, Gibson sees him as playing the same stoic protector role repeatedly. A brand, not a legacy. Gibson criticizes Pascal for prioritizing political activism over acting depth, pointing to his outspoken social media presence and controversial statements. For Gibson, Pascal's success stems more from saying the right things than from true craft. A sign of Hollywood's shift from talent to ideology. Despite huge viewership and fan praise, Gibson views Pascal as emblematic of a system that casts activists, not actors. This frustrates Gibson deeply after decades fighting for respect as an actor and director. Though harsh on Pascal, Gibson's disappointment with another figure once admired runs even deeper. Number 2. Robert De Niro, a fallen idol. Mel Gibson said what many in Hollywood won't. In the late 70s and early 80s, De Niro's legendary roles in Taxi Driver, The Deer Hunter, and Raging Bull set the gold standard. Gibson admired not just his performances, but his silence, letting the craft speak louder than words. But by the 2000s, De Niro grew increasingly political, culminating in his 2016 viral rant against Donald Trump and a notorious Tony Awards outburst in 2018. To Gibson, this was heartbreaking. A craftsman replaced by a partisan performer. The focus shifted from acting to political spectacle. Despite acclaimed roles in Silver Linings Playbook and The Irishman, De Niro's press tours often turned into political rants, overshadowing his artistry. Gibson, who once idolized him and studied his work closely, saw this as a painful betrayal of the craft. For Gibson, acting should come first, politics second. Number 1. Alec Baldwin, Hollywood's hypocrisy exposed. If De Niro's political shift hurt, Alec Baldwin's Rust tragedy ignited Gibson's rage. On October 21, 2021, Baldwin's gun accidentally fired on set, killing cinematographer Helena Hutchins and wounding director Joel Souza. While Hollywood swiftly condemned Gibson after his scandals in 2006 and 2010, Baldwin was shielded by lawyers, PR, and sympathetic media. Baldwin's shaky interviews denying responsibility felt like staged damage control. Charges filed against him in 2023 were later dropped amid legal maneuvers, reinforcing Gibson's belief in Hollywood's double standards. Baldwin's career stayed intact, his SNL impressions remained popular, and the industry allowed Rust to resume filming after a confidential settlement with Hutchins's family. To Gibson, this was grotesque. Only in Hollywood could a woman's death become a budget line item. He saw a pattern. Those without protection get crushed, while the well-connected are protected. Baldwin's survival wasn't about innocence, it was about usefulness. This isn't about whether Baldwin wanted this to happen, Gibson said. It's about what happened after. It's not justice. It's protecting the club. The Rust tragedy proved Hollywood's values had hollowed out. The same industry that blacklisted Gibson for words now shielded a man whose actions ended a life. If De Niro's fall was a personal heartbreak, Baldwin's saga was a darker study in corruption, yet Gibson's deepest anger still lies with others beyond Hollywood. Please subscribe to our channel for more videos, and don't forget to press the bell icon.